Once again, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Disney News magazine. But first, I was just looking through the very first issue of Disney 23 magazine. If you're a gold member of D23, you know that this magazine is a quarterly and you receive it as part of your membership. And it's really a beautifully designed and put together magazine. The very first issue, of course, featured this particular gentleman on the cover from 1923, hence the name D23, because that's when the Walt Disney Company was founded. And there's even some articles by me in here. This was the first in the A Walk with Walt series, which explained the whole 1923 reference. I think there's something else by me about comic strips. And in fact, I even have my picture in it, but you're tired of looking at me, so I'll just give you a brief glimpse. There it is right there. This quarterly magazine started in 2009, which is when D23, the official Disney fan club, started. And over the years, they've had some very nice issues. Here's one that has a cover story on Snow White, 75 years of Disney animated features, beautifully done. Celebrating 40 years of Walt Disney World. How beautiful that is. We even had an issue that had a cover story on Frozen 2. Mindhunter. And just the other day, I got the most recent issue of Disney 23, so I thought we would do an unboxing. It's not really a box though, is it? It's more like a package. So let's do an unpackaging, I guess, and see what the latest issue is. Now I'm going to have to tear this open, but I guess that's what unboxing is all about, isn't it? And we had a really fun, just set this here. We have a really fun cover. Now, I've not seen this until just now. A great cover, which is celebrating 65 years of the Disney theme park, because this is the 65th anniversary of Disneyland, the park that started it all. And I think we'll even open this wonderful wrapper so we can get a better look. All these beautifully designed, really fun icons representing all kinds of Disney parks. And it comes with a special gift, as most of the issues do. This is an exclusive postcard set celebrating 65 years of the Disney theme park. So how fun is that? Now, there's no article by me in this issue, but I am in most issues of Disney 23 magazine. Here's an example from 2011. I wrote several articles about the fuzzy, furry, fantastic world of the Muppets. And a really great touch, by the way, this back cover is kind of this velvet green surface like Kermit himself, so it's all kind of fuzzy-wuzzy like Kermit. Let's see if I can find a couple of the articles by me. Here's a tribute to Jim Henson, The Lovers, The Dreamers, and Jim. I was very proud of this article and very honored to have been asked to write it. Here's a wonderful article about the Muppets Together, again by Billy Stanek. A great, great writer. We miss him very much at D23. He has moved on to greener pastures. And here's my feature article called The Many Fuzzy, Funny, Furry, and Fantastical Faces of the Muppets. So I've been very, very lucky to have written for this magazine over the years. But today we're going to be talking about an earlier Disney magazine, a very important one, Disney News. And I was also very fortunate to have written many articles for this one. It started in 1965 and went all the way through 2005. So there's a lot of great issues and a lot of great stories. But we're going to be focusing on the covers, and especially Disneyland as seen on the covers of Disney News. So let's take a look here. This is one from 1967, and this was a holiday issue. So here we have Fantasy on Parade. And the focus is on the Winnie the Pooh characters who had just been introduced in 1966. So they are very, very popular and prominent at this point, and really fun. We have some unusual designs, of course, for Owl, I would say, and also for Rabbit, and he's holding this little Piglet puppet. So Piglet is to scale, thanks to that puppet that Rabbit's holding. It's really fun. A popular subject, as always, is Sleeping Beauty Castle. This issue is from 1968, and this fisheye view of the most famous landmark of Disneyland. This was another holiday issue, so on the back we have these great color photographs of Fantasy on Parade. And I emphasize color because in those days, the interior was all black and white. So it's really wonderful to see this color here. Here we have another iconic attraction of Disneyland, the Disneyland Railroad. This issue is from 1980, and it's showing locomotive number 4, which is the Ernest S. Marsh, which was introduced into the Disneyland Railroad in 1959. That's a really beautiful photograph, and it's one thing that's so great about this magazine. The photography is always so beautiful, and it's so much fun that we have not only the engineer giving a friendly wave, but also back here, Goofy and Pluto. Here's one of my all-time favorite Disney images, which is the cover of this 1981 issue. Here we have Brer Fox, Brer Bear. Here they are in New Orleans Square in this wonderful courtyard, which is known as the Court of Angels. And this was always one of my very favorite spots too, because it's so picturesque and so kind of tucked away, one of the little nooks and crannies in New Orleans Square, which makes it one of my favorite realms in Disneyland. It has subsequently been shut away so that it's now part of Club 33, so only those guests who are visiting Club 33 can access this part of New Orleans Square, which is great for those guests, but I think it's a shame that we can't all visit it. But anyhow, we can enjoy that beautiful photograph. Here's one of the really neat things that Disney News did. This issue is from 1980. It's a close-up shot of the swinging chicks from the America Sings attraction, which was in the Carousel Theater in Tomorrowland. It's just this great close view of these audio animatronic figures. And of course, over the years, Disney News was sort of putting the spotlight on new attractions. So this, yes, is from 1979, which is when Big Thunder Mountain Railroad opened at Disneyland. Here's a really great shot of that then brand new attraction. And here we have the Walt Disney Story, which was in the Main Street Opera House. It had been introduced in 1973, taking the place of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. But guests missed Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln with good reason. So by popular demand, the attraction was sort of rejiggered to incorporate Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and it reopened in 1975 as the Walt Disney Story featuring Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Down here it says presented by the Gulf Oil Company, and they were a sponsor of the Disney TV show at that time. So it's kind of a cool tie-in. Now, Disney News didn't always have photography. Sometimes they used art, as in this example here from 1981. And I really like this kind of collage effect. It's kind of almost psychedelic. One thing I like about it is here we have the Mark Twain riverboat, and this sort of vision of Disneyland is as if it's the steam coming out of the steam-powered sternwheeler. And it's kind of refreshing to see something else emphasized besides Sleeping Beauty Castle. But of course, that's up here, not to leave that iconic landmark out. And speaking of which, in this issue from 1980, which was Disneyland's 25th anniversary, we have this great paper sculpture. I'm going to hold it a little closer so you can see it. It's just really wonderful with all these details. And of course, fireworks in the back. Sort of some 80s elements, I guess you could say, with this rainbow drawbridge. And not to your surprise, Disney News didn't always feature just Disneyland on the cover. Once Walt Disney World opened in 1971, Walt Disney World was often featured, and here is a beautiful shot from 1985 of Cinderella Castle and elements from the Main Street Electrical Parade that featured Cinderella. What a great idea for a photo, and it's beautifully done. It's so beautiful to see the castle at night, the clock lit up, and of course Cinderella and her friends sparkling in the foreground. Epcot Center opened in 1982, so of course Epcot Center was featured as well. And here we have Kitchen Kaberet in this cover from 1984. And all I have to say are 4 words: veggie, veggie, fruit, fruit. Tokyo Disneyland was also featured, and here is a great cover from 1991 featuring a snowfall. This is real in Fantasyland, or at least in front of the castle. This beautiful snowscape with the Winnie the Pooh characters added in, which is a great idea. And then when Disneyland Paris, or as it was originally known, Euro Disneyland, opened in 1992, that park was also featured. And here we have the Disneyland Hotel of Disneyland Paris. And then in a really cool touch, we have the reverse shot on the back. What a great idea. So there we have another park featured. But to end things, let's go back to the beginning as it all started. Here's a 1979 with an irresistibly classic shot of Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland and Fantasy in the Sky fireworks. What could be more classic than that? So I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at some of the wonderful covers from Disney News Magazine over the years. We'll be taking another look at Disney News at some point, maybe even taking a look at a couple of the articles I've written for that magazine. But in the meantime, please remember to like and especially subscribe. And please be with us next time when our guests will be Mrs. Brill, Mrs. Worth, and Miss Irene Chesney, who will be here to discuss the importance of good housekeeping, even if it's badly. See you then.